The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to another Thespian Talk Encore file. Yeah, you're getting an Encore file this week. Just, people, the schedules just don't line up sometimes, but I still wanted to put something out there for you guys, because I wanted to talk a little bit about my week. I spent it down in Kissimmee, Florida, which is right outside Disney World, Orlando, that sort of area there. And it was mostly uneventful, honestly, because the reason why I was down there is my folks have a timeshare condo down there that they could take advantage of every 2 years, but they were needing to come back early because my dad is a city commissioner, mayor, whatever, and he needed to be there for a meeting. And usually what happens is they'll offer it to some family member, usually one that's in the area, to come and do the thing. But this year is like, you know what, let me do it. So I stayed up here the first few days they were down there because I really wanted some alone time. And then I went down, I think it was Monday night, and then came back just Saturday, the day before I recorded this. And it was really good to just kind of relax, kick back, not have to worry about working on anything, and even just drive around and explore the area around Disney, around Orlando. Just drive around, see what there is to see, and of course, eat at some places that I normally don't get to eat. Didn't have the money to go into any of the theme parks, sadly, but I was able to visit Disney Springs, which used to be downtown Disney, and oh my god. Let me give you an idea of how long it's been since I had been to that area. What is currently a bowling alley used to be a place called the Virgin Megastore, which had all sorts of, you had games, you had books, you had CDs, you had movies, you had a little bit of everything, and that's where I got some of my first anime purchases from, believe it or not, or do believe it, I don't know. So the fact that that's changed up, that's a thing. Disney Quest used to be like this big 5-story arcade building. That's been gone for a while. I don't remember if it was gone the last time I went there, but it was definitely gone this time. There are a few other things that have changed up since then. Like they have a new Coke store with a Coke bar on the 3rd floor, which is really cool. And you can even still get like this, I think you can pay like $10 or something, and you get like a sampler tray of different pops from around the world, and that includes Beverly. If you've never tried Beverly, I strongly encourage you to do this and record your reaction. I'm just sad that they discontinued it as a broad marketing thing, but they still do samples of it and shit, and they even have some available to put into alcoholic drinks at this place, which if I wasn't driving, I probably would have tried some if the money allowed, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm just sad that they don't have Beverly, because then I can't send it to Becky or Mel. Oh, because if you can't lovingly troll the people you care about, then who can you troll, right? Lovingly troll. That's the key term there. But I went 2 days. I went like my first full day there, and then I went Friday, just to kind of put a bookend on everything and close out the week. And the first time I was there, I wanted to go and just like check out what had changed. It's like, oh hey, that's cool. They got the ferry now. I don't remember if they ever had the ferry before. Pleasure Island, as I knew it, is long gone, which again is not necessarily a bad thing. Places that used to have, there used to be a McDonald's there. There's no longer a McDonald's there, which is a weird thing to note, but it's true. They still got the movie theater there, the big-ass movie theater, that sort of thing there. All these other shops and everything. Didn't really spend much time in the marketplace on the east side, but, there's always next time. But the second day I went and decided, okay, I'm going to, and that's when I noticed the Coke bar. I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Sadly, the elevators were out, but thankfully going up and down was just up a ramp. So it's not like I had to worry about, steps and everything. although it was still very tiring by the time I got to the top. And thankfully, the ramp is all indoors, so it's not like I'm having to do this in the heat. So thank goodness for small favors. Had myself a surge, because that's something I don't get very often, and just hung out, chilled. Saw a group actually try a little bit of Beverly, and the first two people were like, they had the reactions you'd think of. Then afterwards, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ride the ferries around. They should be free. Disney, for all of the money grubbing that Disney seems to do, Disney Springs, I say seems to do, Disney Springs has two things going for it. One, the parking is free, unless you want a valet park, which even my out of shape ass is not that lazy. Okay, so, and two, the transports to like different things, like to the like between parks or even between different parts of Disney Springs, it's all free. So I got on the ferry. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to check it out, and it was really cool. In hindsight, I really wish I'd taken out Pokemon Go and like took some pictures of some water Pokemon that I could like do like the AR pictures of water Pokemon on the water or everything. That would have been so cool, but oh well. So I took that and ended up over on the west side, where I wanted to go, near like the Cirque du Soleil and House of Blues and all that. And I get off. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll walk back to the car, which was relatively close by. That's when, and bear in mind, it's gonna get a little TMI at this point, but it helps to tell the story. That's when my tummy is like, hey, you need to get to a bathroom within about 5 minutes, cause we're gonna employ the asshole, and if you're not there, you're shit out of luck. No pun intended. So I said, okay. I looked at my map and was like, okay, there's a bathroom along the way, no problem. As I start walking over there, now, this is something that doesn't normally come up very often because I'm not usually in this position to where it's an issue. When my body gets to be this way, I will overheat. I will start overheating. Like if I'm in a position where I can't immediately go, body starts overheating, and it's not pretty. And you also add on to that the fact that it's 91 degrees. The last liquid I had was Surge with ice, but it was Surge nonetheless. That is when I decided, nope, fuck this. Closest one is actually Cirque du Soleil. Let's get over there. I did an about face, started my ass back over there, and that's when everything started. Oh God. I made it to the bathroom. Long story short, I made it to the bathroom and made it to the toilet, managed to do my thing. And after that, I couldn't get up for a little bit because, as I put it, I sat there after I did my thing and I died for a little while. Which I know some people would be like, wait, what? It's like, it kind of felt like that. and it's a weird way to put it, but yeah, it's like I was sitting back, I was doing, it was like everything was getting bright and everything, and my arms were kind of tingly a little bit, but after my body temperature lowered, everything was all right, and I was able to get some water and get back to the car. But I do kind of like the idea of saying, well, I went into the bathroom and died a little while just to see the looks on people's faces. Hey, that's how I cope with something that could have probably killed me. Just joke about it. We all cope in different ways. And obviously I'm okay now. Made it back okay. Made it back to the condo, slept off. And I will say they have like one of those like little faux hot tubs. And I say faux hot tubs because it's not really meant to be like the major hot tubs you see like at most pools or even in the movies or whatever. It's just meant to be like a small little thing, and that's all I needed. Which ironically, that night I used, even though I had overheated during the day. You would think that wouldn't be a good idea, but turns out it was just fine. Oh, and it felt great. Oh my God. But yeah, other than that, it was mostly uneventful. Got to see a few things. Passed by SeaWorld a couple of times, and every time I passed by that, I heard the distinct, anguished ora-oras off in the distance. you know, that sort of thing. And if you understand that reference, you're welcome. But yeah, so that's it for this particular Encore file. Hopefully next week all of us will be back. And yeah, they'll probably be an ad on this one too, because that's what Anchor encourages. And quite honestly, you know, I could always use extra money. So, but yeah, I might tack a second part onto this as well. So, but you know what? Yeah, I'm going to. So there's going to be like the little break or whatever with the money, and then I'll come back and talk about a second topic, maybe. Talk to y'all later. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX. Alright, so second half of this thing, just so I can justify putting an ad on it, honestly. I'll probably put a YouTube version up of this one as well, like I did with other episodes. These are a lot more, if this is your first Encore file, these are a lot more laid back, just me spouting off whatever. Still is unscripted, but a little bit more casual, a little bit more just whatever. That sort of thing. So I want to share this as well. I might share it again on the next show as well for those who might not watch or listen to the Encore files. But earlier today, the day I'm recording this, it's on a Sunday. Where am I at? Oh, right. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who we all know, representative from the Bronx, Democrat, that sort of thing. She's been kicking all sorts of ass and basically calling out people where that needs to be called out, and working towards, just working towards the greater good. The greater good, that sort of thing. And she tweeted out 14 hours ago, as of this recording, that kids are taken from their families under an American flag. They are left to cough in cages, spread lice and the smell of mucus, with bald eagle emblems emblazoned all around them. A few years from now, these thousands of children will grow to tell their story. We owe it to them to change. And that's in response to somebody tweeting about the conditions in the concentration camps. Yes, I am calling them that. You will not stop me from calling them that. Shut the fuck up. That sort of thing there. And somebody comes in and says, well, this is how our troops sleep to give you the freedom of speech. And it's a picture of some troops lying on the ground next to some tanks, I guess deployed somewhere, which, okay, that has nothing to do with these, number one. Number two, and I noted in my response to this guy, they signed up for that. That's the thing some people don't get is, by and large, the troops sign up to go and sleep in these conditions or go to all of these places here, and for one reason or another. They may have been, they still sign up. It may have been because they want a better life for themselves, maybe they want the free education, but they still sign up for it because they think it's the best choice for them. And you know what? I've had the choice to sign up myself. I decided not to because I would rather not. Sorry. That's not me. But the difference between all of that, that they do have some sort of, at least an illusion of freedom in choosing this. And I say illusion of freedom, but, economic status dependent on that, of course. But whereas these people that our country is putting into cages just because they're seeking asylum while brown, don't deny it. That's what they're doing. That's what's happening. They're coming over here. They're wanting asylum, which is perfectly legal, and they are allowed to come to any point in this country and declare it. Which, yeah, and even if that weren't true, guess what? I don't give a shit. They're deemed illegal because, they didn't do it the right way. Well, what way is the right way? Bleach their skin? Dye their hair blonde? Is that the correct way? That's what I want to know. Anyway, point is, they came over here illegally. Well, then you get this asshole. Well, they broke the law and invaded our country. No, they didn't. We have a legal way to enter, and you Democrats, I'm not a Democrat, by the way, conceived them to come here illegally. Convinced them, rather. Obama admin caged these invaders, yet you were silent. You Democrats own all of this. Whether or not Obama did that, and from what I understand he did, here's the thing. He wasn't separating children from their parents. He wasn't leaving them in what is the word I'm looking for? Circumstances like what we're seeing with the Trump concentration camps. Trump is taking that and just shooting it all up into space. He is doing worse, regardless of whether or not the Obama administration did it. Trump is doing worse. And I even told him, hey, I'm sure you'd have loved Hitler back in the day. And he comes at me with two tweets. Well, please explain why Uwe would say something so foolish. Well, I'm not the one spouting the full of shit, asshole. Hitler was an evil man who stopped free speech by burning books. Which, yeah, he also stopped free speech by killing people. And he compared that to Democrats at Berkeley. Wait, what? Is this asshole talking about people protesting against the alt-right mouthpieces that, maybe they didn't want to give a platform to at Berkeley, and Berkeley was like, yeah, we're not going to give you guys the fucking platforms because of this. Beat people up who spoke negative of Nazis, which is what Hitler did, and he's comparing Antifa beating up any with opposing viewpoints. No, it's not opposing viewpoints, you idiot. Here's the thing. When somebody comes out and starts marching and says things like, we will not be replaced, that is a call to war, sir. That is a call to war from the Nazi point of view, the white supremacist point of view. These people who are dehumanizing brown people just for being brown, and how dare they try and come into our country. Give no room. Bullshit. Yes, there is. The rich people just don't want to give it up and help develop it. There is room. Fuck off. Worked with Muslims to slaughter Jews. Citation needed, as I'm pretty sure Muslims had nothing to do with it. Or if they did, it was incidental, and I don't know. But even if he did, why bring the Muslims into this? Hitler was a National Socialist who controlled private enterprise and controlled healthcare. The same platform that all you POTUS wannabes claim. And I have to point out it's Wanna, W-A-N-N-A, space B-E-E-S. I'm going to be picky because I'm going to be that petty with this asshole. Today's Democrats are yesterday's Nazis, and you know it. Your Democrat Party's mocking our rule of law defines exactly who you are. First of all, no. Let me tell you this. Yesterday's Nazis are pretty much Trump and his ilk. All right? What Trump is doing, and I'm putting it all on Trump because he is the president. What Trump is doing is putting people who are not like him, who are not like his Wall Street criminal friends, putting them into cages and just leaving them to rot because, oh no, they dared to try and seek asylum while brown. That's all it is. He is a racist bigot who is a child murderer and a rapist. He deserves a lot worse than I could ever wish upon him. He deserves the worst. And just recently, Trump was saying, like, AOC and what is it? Oh, let me see. AOC is one of them, but there are two other women of color who are in Congress, Democrat Congresswomen, by the way. Just to so you guys understand, he is saying that they should go back to their country. They were born here, by the way, which goes to show that Trump sees anybody who is not white as not American. And that is wrong. That is wrong, and whoever voted for him to get to that position of power is also wrong and enabled him. And in turn, enabled the fucking Nazis. And by the way, if you want to know my end response to this guy, I was going to try and respond with some profound or thought-provoking thing, because let's face it, it is masturbatory bait at this time, and I guess by recording this, I'm kind of taking it, but I doubt he listens to my show, so I don't give a shit. But at any rate, he got the George Carlin wanking himself gif, so I just kind of wanted to get that out there and also kind of pad out this particular thing. I'll probably clarify it a little bit more, go into a little bit more detail in the next show, but I just wanted to get that out there now because it's a little bit more timely. So yeah, Encore, you heard me babble for a little bit. Thanks for listening. You can find all my stuff, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at Gomer21XX. It's also where my YouTube channel is. You can also find Thespian Talk and these Encore files on the Thespian Talk YouTube channel. The show itself, of course, is Thes Talk Show. My phone keeps saying hello because it wants attention. That's how casual these recordings are when I do an encore. Of course, all of our stuff is down in the doobly-doo, especially when it's on the site. So on the site itself, everything is under the thing, and that site is rtgomer.com, which will give you the links to not only the video file but also the Anchor page if you don't want to try and look up the show on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever, or if you just want to download it from wherever, that's fine too. And of course, the site also has its own little mailing list. You can get updates when not just me, but everybody else on the site updates as well. And it's pretty cool, and it's free. And of course, you also want to find me on Facebook, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. Come say hello. I mostly just have it do the automatic updates through if this then that, but, that sort of thing. And of course, there are Discords. I believe they're in the doobly-doo, or at least the Thespian Talk one is. Feel free to come say hello. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. And until next time, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, signing off.